I'm Judy Zelina, and this is the Millcreek Government Channel. Financial fraud is the fastest growing form of elder abuse. Actually, financial elder abuse is when someone illegally or improperly uses a vulnerable senior's money or other property. In fact, one recent study estimated that there are at least 5 million cases of financial abuse in the United States each year. Now, you can protect yourself or your loved ones from this by becoming familiar with the most common scams and also learning what to do in case you do suspect foul play. And here today to talk about scams is Gert Simmons, and Gert is with GCAC, and she is the Senior Citizen Advocate, and she knows everything there is to know about scams. So Gert, thank you so much for being on the program.
It's fascinating when you study about scams because they've been here since man came into existence.
Well, I know. They were selling snake oil back in the day.
And it's mentioned in the Bible, you know, how the one picked the sheep that he knew that those sheep were going to produce and everything, and he picked those and everything. So when you look down at it, scams are, and although we have senior citizens that are getting into it, it's across the board.
It certainly is. It certainly is. Now, we're going to be talking about some of the different scams, but you know what, Gert, can you talk about, let's talk about first, what are a telltale sign to begin with that it could be a scam?
Well, first of all, you know, our older population, they tell you that you're lonely, this and that and the other. They're aware of it. I do call them scam artists because they know when to call you during the day, and they know, and we're of that generation where we love people that are polite. And they say to you, "How are you today, ma'am?" Mm-hmm. and things like that. And that's sort of the empathy there. They know that they can develop this rapport, and that's what they do, and they work on that.
And you know what? You're right, because that generation, and another thing we were talking about, that generation is very trusting. Our seniors are, the majority of them are trusting. They believe a person's word.
And you have to realize that now we have a very, very large population of older people. I mean, Pennsylvania, you wouldn't think it, but we're right up there in the top 5 of having an older population. And we have more people that are in their 90s and 80s, and they're worried about how the money is going to be and everything. So they look for opportunities where they can get more finances.
You know, and another way that people, not only coming to the door or phone calls, people are becoming more computer savvy.
Oh, yes.
So you're seeing a lot of computer fraud, you know, financial fraud on computers, a lot of scams.
Well, it's amazing how that can be used. The media and all have been involved in it and everything like that. My granddaughter got married recently, and we wanted a picture of her, the granddaughter, the bride, and Pop. And so my one grandson said, okay. So he took the picture that was there with her husband and put Pop in there. So we have this lovely picture of Pop and the bride standing there smiling.
Oh my gosh.
And I told him, I don't know whether I should report you or thank you, but this is what we're beginning to see. For instance, when people call and they'll say, "Is this Mary so-and-so?" and they say yes, that can be taken, recorded, and when you get these magazines or whatever's coming and they'll say, "I never ordered them," they'll say, "Yes, you did. I can play it back for you, and you said yes." So that means they have manipulated and got and asked a question, "Are you interested in getting these magazines?" and you've said yes. And just think what that does to an older person. It really confuses them.
Mm-hmm. It really does.
And so in order not to show this confusion or that they don't know what's going on, they say, okay, and end up paying for sportsman life and things like that.
Now, this is done through telemarketers on the telephone usually,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
What are some of the other scams? Give me an example of a few of them that someone can get caught up in just with a telemarketer.
Well, and now this has gone international, This letter, a woman called me, she got a letter from Nigeria, and they said that they were a banking person, and they knew that this person had had a large account, but now that he was dead, had no relatives, that they could get into it, and what they needed was $1,000 and everything. And they assured her that she'd get at least $10,000. So what happened, they found out this was a post office box that they were operating out and everything. And once she sent that money, and they will tell you how to send the money, why don't you send it a bonded check or a cashier's check and everything like that. No way it can be traced or anything.
Wow, wow. What about the scams where they'll actually send you a letter with a check?
Yes.
With a bank check. And
yes.
I'm going to tell you, that check looks pretty darn real.
Pretty darn good, doesn't
they
it?
They have brought it into me and said, Judy, is this real? It's like, oh, no.
No, it's not real and everything. But so many times at the bank, you can go and cash it or do what you want with it, and you're left holding the bag.
Exactly. You're responsible for that money.
Yes, you are, and people don't realize that.
Mm-mm. No, they don't. No, they don't. Another scam we talked about is someone calling from out of the country saying that a child or grandchild needs help. Tell our viewers a little bit about that one.
Well, I had that happen right in my family. I have a grandson that's going to a local school, and they called up. It was friends down the hall, and they said, so-and-so's in trouble and he needs $50. Well, I thought about that. He's just been here, ate me out of house and home. So I went on my cell phone and called him. He says, what? I said, look around and what have you and everything. And he walked down the hall and he said, yeah, it's them. Now, these kids were not vicious. They were thinking of a way to get some quick money. But you think of what that would have done. I was panic stricken.
Well, of course you would be.
Yeah. And I wondered why he hadn't said to me when he was with us, that he was having problems or anything like that. So it not only impacts on you financially, but it impacts on you emotionally and everything like that. And we certainly don't need that with the older population.
No. And I know they'll even say sometimes, like you said, that happened to you, or say you don't have a grandchild that lives with you in that town, and they say that they're over in Europe.
Yep.
And they need money.
Right. And so they will tell you how to send it a cashier's check and this and that in a way. That's because no strings will be attached and you've just given someone a gift. Well, that's the same way when you look at you get from organizations. And I'm not criticizing organizations, but a gift is a gift. And one lady called me up and she said, I have so many address stickers. I don't know what to do, and I don't know who I should send, how I should send them out for the stickers. So that is a gift. That is a gift. If someone sends you a gift, you can either say thank you for it or just keep it. So they really shouldn't be worried about that. And I wonder, do religious organizations look at the pressure that they put on it? I told you about my daughter has a neighbor that every year they send her the sacrament, the little tube of wine, and I don't think it's wine, and also, and she really feels obligated that she should send them something for that. She really does. And she said, they tell me that we'll all be taking communion together at such and such a time on such and such a date and everything, and I really feel that. And I say, are they considering that there's zones that have different times and everything? No, I just want to shock her into that because I know she's low income and she really doesn't have that money.
Well, again, there's that guilt. That generation,
Yes.
they don't want handouts. They don't want something for nothing. I want to pay my fair share.
Yes.
So they know they're dealing with that type of mentality, and that's how they were raised, and that's how they think, right, Gert?
Right. And some of the pictures that they send you when they ask for donations and everything, one lady said, my heart just goes out. You know, I think it's that we were reared to be polite and to do things like that. But I think one of the best things you can do, and it's exercise for your hands, is to hang up the phone. Don't look at that information that they're sending you, because it is going to tug at your heartstrings. And you have to protect yourself. And that is one of the things that happens. You have to look at that sometimes people sacrifice, will go to the bank and get money to send.
Gert, what is the best way to handle, like you said, if a telemarketer calls? Do you talk to them and tell them not to call, immediately hang up? How should someone handle that if a telemarketer calls them?
At Christmas time, my daughter gave me where it comes up on the screen. If it's an 888 number, if it's an 800 number and everything like that, don't even answer it, because in all probability, that's what they're doing.
All right.
They're asking you for something like that. And you know, when someone, and one of the big, a lady, I didn't think it anymore, everybody has a cell phone. And she said that someone came to the house and asked if they could use their phone. She let them in, and then some stuff was missing. And we have to realize that we're people that do the same things. Slip a couple bucks under the scarf there, do this and do that. Don't think that your scam artist doesn't know that and everything like that. And she said, I had put money under the scarf on my one settee, and she said it was gone later. They know what they're doing, and they work quickly too.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you would never think about that, because you've just let them in for a little bit, but you're right. Everybody does have a cell phone anymore.
Sure, and we all do the same things over and over again and everything like that. One of the things that my husband puts, when we go travel, he puts the money in his socks. And then
Take them shoes off, buddy.
And then at night, what are you doing? I'm getting the money out your sock, because someone would know that.
Exactly.
So we have to become aware that they're out there and they're keeping up with the times and what's going on and everything.
They are, because people are creatures of habit, and so many of us do have the same habits, you know, of where we hide things.
And they sit and they think about what they can do. I'm going to have a granddaughter that's graduating from high school, and I got a call about prom dresses. And I said to them, her prom dress is taken care of, thank you, and I hung up. And it is, because she was in her cousin's wedding, and I said to her, that's your prom dress too.
And you know what, though, Gert, with telemarketers, I'm going to tell you something, a personal experience too. I suggest either don't answer, or hang up immediately.
Hang up.
Because where somebody had answered the phone. It was in my office, not where I'm working now. It was a different place where I was working, private place, and they were talking to a telemarketer saying, no, we're not interested, no, we're not interested, and boom, boom, boom. The next thing I knew, my telephone service had changed. Come to find out, because I was on the phone with them for X amount of time, that was their authorization to change my service.
That's correct.
I didn't sign anything.
No, none whatsoever and
But
everything like
because the girl that was working for me was polite and didn't hang up, that's what happened. So always hang up. Don't let them keep talking to you, because you just don't know what their little fine print is.
And please, you know, if you do, don't say you were stupid enough. Say you were gullible enough. Report it to the Attorney General's office.
I agree.
And
I
you know,
agree.
and
Don't
right
be embarrassed.
now, the Attorney General has a consumer's reference guide for seniors, how to avoid scams and fraud. But please report that to them, because they can bring, and they are tremendous amounts that are being spent, and especially the ones from foreign countries. They can track them and everything like that. And the U.S. mail wants to know if they're being used for illicit things.
Certainly, because there is mail fraud going on right now. You're
Yeah.
getting things in the mail, like you said, different solicitations. One thing they're doing is they're offering, and this really isn't, I mean, there's really nothing illegal about this, but there are places out there and people out there willing to, like to fill out your rebate.
Yes.
We will do we will get you $650 or less in little print. You know, we can get you back more money for only X amount of dollars. Gert, I'm a cheap date. I do it for free.
Of course, I do them
You
for
do
free.
it for free.
Yeah.
Yes, you don't have to pay to have it done. It's not illegal, but it's a way of getting people to
But
pay for
most
services that are out free.
from the United States government, I think like the Social Security does things absolutely free.
Just had
You will
talking to
s-
John Johnson,
You
same
will
thing.
see a scam where we will get your Social Security card and
Mm-hmm.
that. It's absolutely free, and you can go back if you've lost it or anything like that and get another one. It's heartbreaking to see these and everything. A lady brought me one in. I hadn't seen anything like that, and she says it's safe. It was on metal. They prefer you have the paper ones. They prefer that, you know. But she felt very safe, and again, they're working on you in those
They are.
areas.
Yes, they are. So if someone solicits you that they can provide a service for a fee, I always suggest call someone. You can call me, call you, call your state representative's office, call your senator's office. Find out if you can get the same service at no charge by somebody.
And the government usually does not charge for services and everything.
They don't.
And if they do charge for services, like someone paid $250 to get a death certificate, oh, come on. It's not going to go into those large
No,
amount and
no,
everything.
no, it's
and
not.
look carefully at your mail, because companies aren't supposed to use the logos and things at the federal government. And people said, but it looks so official.
certainly
But
doesn't, does
was
it?
it official?
Well, it even says on there usually official business.
Yes.
Must be official.
So those are all those things that we really have to look for.
That's right. Another big thing we hear about come spring, summer, home improvement scams.
Home improvements and everything.
Okay, let's talk about some of those, Gert. What are the ones that you've seen?
Well, in our neighborhood, a guy was out last year, and he said that he had some extra asphalt left in his truck, and he would be willing to do, let us do our driveway. And I was really happy about that, because I got a cement driveway. And when I said that to him, I said, well, why would I want that? I have a cement driveway. He backed down the stairs and got in because you really, when they come in and everything, just like a lady told me, she said, I got a garage door. I said, why did you get a garage door? She said, was it not working? Was it this? Was it that? No, but he came by and he said it was a good deal. Beware of good deals.
When they say it's a good deal.
And if you don't need the deal at that time, then don't use the deal.
And another thing I think you have to watch out for is if you do contract with someone to do some work. My tip-off would be if they say, well, you need full payment in advance.
That's a no-no.
Oh, I see that a lot, Gert.
That's a no-no.
And they never show
another
up.
thing that they should have in the contract, when are you going to finish it? A lady keeps calling me, it's been 2 years and he hasn't finished my roof. Did you have in your contract when it was supposed to be finished?
Okay, so look in your contract, make sure when you do sign it, a start date, a schedule of disbursement, correct?
Right.
And a finish date. I did not realize to have an end date that everything had to be finished up by. Make sure that's in your contract too.
Oh, yes, that should definitely be in there.
See, I
And
didn't
she
know that.
says she sees him at church, and he said, I'll be getting around to you
Oh,
and
well,
everything.
he's in church, he can't be
Well,
that bad.
Well, we have seen some pastors
Exactly.
and what have you that have done their congregation in schemes and everything.
But you see how people are so trusting and believe what they see. If they're in church, well, they're in church. If they must be good, right away.
Yeah.
They must be good Christians, good
No,
Christian people.
definitely
They'll,
like
they'll
that.
finish. They'll finish the job.
And she said, he said, didn't we shake hands on it? That's not a valid signing of a contract. You know?
No, it is not. Now, if someone does get caught up, say, in one of these home improvement rip-offs, who should they call?
They should call the Attorney General's office. Now, it's not always going to be worked out the way that you think, just like that and everything. But please do report these things so they can catch up with these people. Mm-hmm. They go on for years and years doing this.
I know they do. I know. And a lot of times people are too. I actually know someone that they ripped everything apart, waited, had to be 6-8 months, and was almost too embarrassed to go and say that they got ripped off. So what did they do is they hired somebody else to come in.
Of course. And
finish
that
the
happens
job.
many, many times.
Yeah, they
And
do.
you're not embarrassed by other things and everything like that. Mm-mm. Why are you embarrassed by things like that?
You shouldn't be embarrassed.
My granddaughter said, we're going in, a bunch of us, and get a hotel room for a prom night. And I said, you don't have to be bothered about that. Mm-hmm. And she says, why? Because we're not going to let you stay.
That's right.
And she said, well, what will I say to them?
Exactly.
I said, you want to dial up whoever this is that planned this whole charade and everything? And then you have to hear, but their parents, we are not their parents. And
That's right.
Like that.
That's right. So no matter what age, no matter what the situation, do not be embarrassed to stand your ground or to admit this is what you want done. Exactly.
Right.
Don't care what other people say.
And see what's being done too.
Exactly.
And write down what they're supposed to do. So they can't tell you, well, that's no, this and that. Write down if you want new spigots on your bathtub, that's what you will get. And don't, well, those spigots look okay to me.
Another one, and our time's sort of coming to an end here, but how about the work at home scams?
Oh, those are really horrible scams. And they always have built into them. I know one lady, and older folks do want to earn money.
Yes, they do, and they think this is perfect. I'm home, I can do this.
They sent her a jewelry kit, and she made out the jewelry and everything, and sent it in, and they wrote her a letter and said, it doesn't look as professional as it should. Don't worry, we will sell you some more this and that and the other and everything. And we'll send it back to you postage free, plus this other stuff and everything like that. And then send us back again, I said, no, don't do that again. And she had taken time and effort, meticulously done them. They looked great to me.
But that's what it is. Isn't it true if they say if you have to keep paying money out for material to work at home?
Right. Never do that.
Don't go that.
Or if you have to buy equipment in order to do the job.
Okay.
Don't do that either. A woman said, I brought a computer and this and that and the other and everything like that. Then they said such and such and such. I said, well, who got you the computer? Well, the company did have the computer. So you think about that.
Yeah, that's right. She's buying all this. But you know what, though? Sadly, we think we're doing right. And the majority of these things that we're doing is telemarketing scams. A lot of times it's investments. You want to do better, you want more money, or you want to better your home, you want to better your family. And you just fall prey to some of these con artists. And not everybody out there are con artists. We're
No.
not saying that. We're just saying there are scams out there. Please look for some of the telltale signs. Too
And
good to be true.
The insinuating factors there, and that grandparents feel that they should give to their grandchildren.
Exactly.
A woman come in and she said, I have 22 grandchildren. I said, make sure you kiss them all at Christmas time. But I know she can't afford it, you
Right.
know, and everything
That's
like
right.
that. She said, well, I thought maybe I'd get a little job.
Right. Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. That's what they're looking to do. It's just so difficult when I see someone come in that I know has given out thousands of dollars
Right.
to rip off artists.
And don't feel that you were stupid, because it happens to all social
Yes, it does.
classes. It goes across the line. It happens to young and old and everything. We had hearings a couple years ago, and a very, very astute doctor had spent thousands. Maybe deep inside of us, there's this urge that makes us do that.
Right.
But he had lost a large amount of money, and he was an intelligent person.
It happens. It happens. Now, if you do feel that you have been a victim of a scam, now, Gert, would you suggest the first thing, call your local police department, and also go to the Attorney General's office?
Yes.
And they have a toll-free number here,
Yes,
don't
they
they, Gert?
do.
That is
1-866-623-2137. Again, that's 1-866-623-2137. And I would ask people to get this book, Consumer's Reference Guide for Seniors, How to Avoid Scams and Fraud. Things that you have never thought about.
And I do have those booklets in my office.
you?
I know you have them.
Yes.
And at different consumer fairs or senior fairs, you'll see the Attorney General's office. And
And
they'll
you
have
need to sit down and read it. And you don't, because
Right.
so many times seniors feel stupid because they felt pride.
I'm going to tell you,
that's not true.
these are reminders, and there's a lot of things that I know when I read this book that I was not aware of. So, Gert, we're going to have to wrap it up here,
Okay.
but I just want to thank you so much for coming on, talking about scams, reminding people
Please.
how they can help themselves and their loved ones to avoid some of these scams. Again, it's always a pleasure having you on the program. Thank you again, taking the time.
Take action when it happens.
Yes. Don't be embarrassed. Be strong. Go and tell somebody about this.
Okay, thanks so much, Judy.
Thanks, Gert. Viewers, thank you for tuning into the Millcreek Government Channel. And until next time, have a wonderful day.
You're watching the Millcreek Government Channel, powered by WQLN Public Media.